Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini, and we have another interview for you guys today with Al Laughlin from the band Highway 50, his new project here. Al was a longtime member of the band The Samples, and we'll get started with all that here in a second. But first, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine. That is PPLMag.com, Pittsburgh's first internet radio, TV network, online community magazine, and business directory. You can listen to, watch, download, receive emails with the latest audio, video created by the members of the community, read articles, grab coupons, save money. There's all kind of great stuff to do there. You can listen to great podcasts just like this one. If you'd like to keep up with what we have going on here at the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, please visit Loudini, that's like Houdini, but Loudini, LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com, and just click the episodes tab, and every Wednesday there's a new interview, and every Saturday there is a new music podcast. So we're really excited about everything we have going on there. So we invite you guys to check it out and participate. Also, catch up with us on social media. Your input, your questions are always end up becoming fodder for future episodes, so you could find yourself becoming momentarily famous as we talk about what you said on social media to one of our posts. Like I said, on the line today, I've got Al Laughlin. Al has this great band called Highway 50. And he's an original member of the Colorado band, The Samples, and Laughlin wrote or co-wrote many of the band's most enduring songs. And his percussive offbeat reggae stylings on keyboards became known as The Bubble that helped form the band's signature sound. Highway 50 continues in that tradition, blending ska, reggae, jazz, pop, and R&B with Laughlin's melodic vocals and introspective lyrics. Al, welcome to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Oh, thanks so much, Lou.
Let's go back because let's talk about how you got into music. I mean, you run into these guys, The Samples, at a frat party or something where they're playing, and But before that, like, how did you get started playing music?
Actually, my mom gave me piano lessons in third grade, and I think I can blame it all on her. No, I mean, really, I had little bits of skills with keyboards, and I kind of left it alone. And then when I ran into the Samples guys at a party in Boulder, Colorado, I just told them I could play keyboards, which was kind of a lie because I hadn't played piano since like fifth grade. So. That was that. It kind of took off from there.
Now, were the Samples like pretty well established when you joined, or were they just kind of getting started?
No, we were just starting. Those guys moved out from Vermont, and I was in Boulder, and everybody was really poor, and so we'd go to the food sample section at the supermarket, King Super, and that's where we got the name. So, we were just started. I think the drummer, Keith, who drums for Highway 50, actually answered they posted something at the University Center, and he answered that. And so we just kind of formed right there.
Now, how does the band go from just playing like little parties and stuff to becoming, well, I mean, you guys are an internationally known act. I listened to the Samples in college, so I mean, I heard about you guys and heard your music. What was the sort of ride like there? How did that get going?
Well, at least in Boulder at the time, late '80s, there was most of the bands kind of had the same sound. Not to be generalized too much, but we had more of a offbeat sort of reggae sound, a little like the Police, and I think it just caught people's ear. Not a lot of people sounded like that, and it was heavy metal was ending, grunge was starting, and so we stood out pretty well. And then I think one day one of the people from Arista Records had just showed up at one of our gigs, and I don't know, like a year later we were on a tour bus. Well, we did one tour in a Ryder truck. So, we kind of just played so much. It was hard not to take notice. So I was really young. I think I was like 19, 18.
So what? So you probably experienced like some serious musical growth. I mean, you're going from you hadn't played piano since 5th grade, and now you're in a band and you're on tour. Like, when in all this do you start writing songs? Because it's one thing to say, well, I have some piano skills. It's another thing to become a songwriter. Now, how does that develop?
Yeah, that's a good question. I grew up around my sisters and brother, and they all played music, and they're a good deal older than me, so I listened to all their music. So I think that probably sank in. I wrote some tunes with samples, but I'm really, my songwriting's coming into play right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
With Highway 50, it's a lot more matured, and I just think if you do something long enough, you're going to catch on. I think that's what happened with me.
So you left the samples, and I mean, how long have you been out of the samples? Has it been a while, or?
Yeah, I left the samples in 1998.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so did Jeep, the drummer.
Yeah.
And then eventually Andy did. Now it's just Sean. I mean, we're all like really good friends now, talking about maybe doing another project. But
Ooh.
I left music alone for, I don't know, a good 10 years, and then it just kept coming back, and then I had all these songs from the stuff that I'd been through, and that's kind of what Highway 50 is. Okay,
now, if you don't mind, could you share a little bit about what was happening there during your hiatus from music?
I don't know. Honestly, I just ran into some life roadblocks. And whatever. I have a song on Highway 50 called "The System," and I'll just leave it right there. And
okay, all right. I understand. You don't. That's cool. This isn't the Howard Stern show. We're not asking you to.
No.
Asking how many lesbians you know or anything like that. I was just trying to get an idea.
It's all good. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge at this point, but I think I just had to go through some stuff to figure out where I was at. It's just a growth thing. So, today it's just like I'm so grateful to have actually experienced what I did, because it gave me a lot of material for
right.
music. And so I'm more on the positive side at this point in my life. So that's what's
well, good.
Up.
And so and did you find that easy to sort of like channel what you had gone through into music, or was it kind of a struggle at first to kind of express this through music?
No, it totally just came. I kept writing everything down, and then that's when I figured out I really was a musician, because I'd start dreaming melodies, and then I'd take all my lyrics and then kind of combine them, and that's like Highway 50 right there.
Okay, now let's talk about the band. Let's talk about the project Highway 50, because I mean you are the spearhead of the project, but there's a lot of other people. I think in my notes there's 12 people in this band. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, the live thing right now, I have guitar, drum, bass, keyboards, and 2 horns, and sometimes 3 horns, or we can strip it down to 4. And the studio project, I just took everybody that had played with me and contributed, and that was super good, far better than me, and I just put them on there because it was such a good vibe, and the guys that from Violet Recording in Boulder gave me free studio time because they had faith in the music. So I made it a family sort of thing.
Oh, that's really cool. So tell us a little bit about the project. It's an EP, correct? It's called the Violet Project.
Yeah.
And how many songs are on it, and who's playing on it, and who produced, and give us the lowdown on that.
Yeah. Violet started from my buddy Scott Higgins. He owned the studio, and then I was throwing tunes together, and my friend Daren Roebuck that co-produced this CD sort of worked with me for a good 6 to 8 months. Kind of organizing the songs off of. I played the piano, he'd play acoustic, and I'd go over there like twice a week and just sort of figure it out. And when the songs were ready, I went into Violet Recording in Boulder, and these three guys, Scott Higgins, Chris Wright, who plays bass, and Daren helped me produce the stuff because I didn't really have the engineering and production skills that they had. Especially Chris Wright was instrumental, and with some new gear, and so we were able to make a really clear recording that sounded somewhat professional. It sounds professional to me, but
no, it sounds very professional. I don't want to give the audience the impression it's the demo. It sounds really good. It sounds fantastic.
I know. Thanks very much. And yeah, there's like the horn section, Andrew Mcnew, Matt Planer, the Paramount, drummers Pete Macnichol, originally from the Samples, has a new band, The Plate, Raoul Rossiter, and Brian Nevin from Big Head Todd and the Monsters, James Hambleton on guitar, and kind of the list goes on.
How collaborative? You said that you worked with the guitar player. Was that Brian Roebuck? Is that who you said?
Yeah.
But how collaborative? Like, you have all these people, and there's all this music. Just so the audience, if they're not familiar, this music there's a lot going on. This isn't like everybody chunking along on an E chord, type. This isn't type. This isn't punk rock. So there's a lot going on. So how collaborative is it? Do people come in and you just let them, play their parts, or do you guys have like, no, we want you to do this? Like, how did you handle that, negotiate that?
I just set the structure, and I'm just not one to tell somebody. I have an idea of the sound I want, but I basically just cut them loose. The horn players made up their own parts because they're so talented and well trained. I just felt like they could do it themselves. And James just naturally on guitar flows in there, and same with Daren, all those guys. But I just gave them a structure, and I threw the vocals so that they knew where I was going with the song. So basically, it's their. I wrote the tunes, but it's their playing. So.
Okay, so they come in. So you brought in guys that, like, hey, they know me. They know the kind of music we're doing. They know the kind of project this is, and you trust them that they're going to kind of play something that's really going to complement what you have going on. That's basically how it works.
Exactly. And then I also go down to this piano bar in Boulder, and I can play the tunes like that as well. But with this, I just took my favorite drummer, which is Jeep and Brian, and my friend Raoul Rossiter too. I just gave them the structure, and I gave them the breaks and the whole thing, and they're all. Again, I try to hire people a lot more talented than I am. So, that's how I did it.
That's a recipe for success. That's you read any of those books on, how anybody's done anything, of importance in this world. That's usually what they did is they went and found people that were better than them and got them involved.
I know.
So what's good?
I'm fortunate. I was living in Boston, where I'm from, and I moved back out to Boulder, and I kind of was telling myself, why did I even leave here? Because I had such a good outlet of musicians.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what is this? So is the album's officially released, or is it still like coming out?
No, it's out. It's out there. It's on the the whole thing, iTunes and everything.
Okay, so what's going on? How do you? What's the band going to do in terms of like? Are you guys? What's coming up? You guys going to tour? You're going to play just around Boulder or around Boston? What's the situation?
I kind of, the last 3-4 years, I've kind of been a gig whore and just I've just been playing basically everywhere, and now finally I'm getting bigger offers because I got out there. It was I remembered from the samples, because you got to kind of get out there, and I just keep the ball rolling. I'm probably going to get out east to the Northeast this summer, late July, early August. And other than that, I do have plans for touring. It's a matter of logistics, and also I'd prefer to get on a kind of a support act tour if possible, so that I can land in front of people.
Right.
So it won't be all depending on a draw. It's tough these days because a lot of people just stay home and watch concerts on their laptops. So it's a different dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I just looking forward. I picture a bigger scenario for this band for sure.
Are you now? What kind of just in your sort of like? I know it's still kind of up in the air. Are you thinking about? What do you think, like one like 8-9 piece, or like just keep it small, or what are you thinking?
I'd like a 7 piece. That's the sound right there. I'll take the 3 horns, but I don't. I mean, it sounds awesome. It gets a little impractical after a while.
Yeah.
So it's tough with that big band. I mean, I can do a 4-piece without the horns, but I think I love the catches people's ear right away, including mine. So.
Of course, it's a whole other show too. It just is. I'm a fan of a lot of 3-piece acts like Government Mule and bands like that. But there's something about going and seeing like 5, 6, 7 musicians on the stage, all interacting and everything. It's very, very powerful, and especially the kind of music you do. I understand that you would definitely want to bring that across.
Yeah, it's good. We have a good dynamic, and so there's a lot of space in the music, and it's less of a wall of sound and these isolated sort of parts. And that's, I just think everybody's so talented in that way. There's not a lot of overplaying, and you can hear everything pretty rhythmic and tinged with some reggae and some rock, and somehow jazz has worked its way in through the my voicings on the piano, and then with the horns.
In your own words, what is ska?
Ska, I equate it with the Jamaican music that happened before reggae. If you listen to the Desmond Decker or even Bob Marley before reggae hit, it was pretty upbeat. It's an offbeat. It's like sped up reggae. That's what it is.
Okay.
And then the British caught on, the English beat, and the Specials and all those guys.
Okay. All right. I just haven't heard anybody kind of like sort of define it. So it's a huge part of what you do, and I wanted you to talk about it a little bit. So how can people catch up with what's going on with Highway 50 and keep abreast of everything you guys are doing?
Well, my website, basically, hwy.com, hwy50.com. That kind of updates everybody on what's going on. I do use the Facebook because it seems like it just reaches so many people. I'm not too chatty on there, but it's very efficient for me, and that's under my name, Al Laughlin, and Highway 50. And so it's basically website, and I'm working on I've kind of juggled booking agents, but I'm working on a new one. There's 3 different ones, so I'm unable to drop the name right now.
Okay.
So that's kind of how. And I'm pretty easy to reach. I'm pretty high profile, so that's kind of what's going on. There's a samples page too, and I still talk with those guys and try to keep that network in. I find that I draw a lot of those folks that used to come to our shows. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But just a one last question here, Al. You said you'd like to get on, with as a supporting act. Name a couple people who would be your dream act to tour with.
Well, I don't know.
If you could pick anybody, if anybody, whatever off the top of your head.
It would be cool to go out with someone like Sting. That would be awesome. To that kind of audience, or a more upbeat audience, maybe the old school English beat, or even all my jam band friends that draw so much from the from the Dave Matthews to the Blues Traveler. I still have great memories through touring with those guys. So for me, it's like just land me in front of the audience.
And you'll do the rest. Give you the audience, and you'll take care of it.
That's right.
Is there a lot of? Is there gonna? I mean, do you foresee a lot of jamming in Highway 50, or are you thinking, we're gonna pretty much stick to the set?
No, we go for we extend it out, and then we go for the super high energy. And I'm a lot more active in this band than I was in samples because I sing, so I kind of run around and act like a freak, and try to get everybody psyched, really. So we really extend a lot of stuff. Not too many covers, but like I'm playing up in Vail next weekend, and it's a long gig, so I kind of dip into a few. I maybe play some old samples tunes, but I kind of butcher them in my own style. But yeah, so it's different live for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Al Laughlin, and you can catch up with his new project, Highway 50, at hwy50.com, and Highway 50 and Al Laughlin on Facebook, and they've got you can keep up with everything that's going on there. Al, thanks so much for taking some time with us today, and we will get this out to you as soon as we have it all put together. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Hey, everyone. You've been listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus with Al Laughlin of Highway 50. That, again, is hwy50.com. Great record that they have out, EP. And if you go to the website, you can check it all out. Everything is right there. They sound great. It's really good music. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live. That is pplmag.com. You can catch up with everything at the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus by going to loudinirockandrollcircus.com. And every Wednesday, a new interview like this one, and every Saturday, a new music podcast. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Thanks.
Hey, take care, Al.
All right, you too, Lou.
Bye-bye.